So this video is called the ARRL holds a board meeting on Zoom. So as you may know, the ARRL holds 2 board meetings per year. We hold one in January and we hold one in July. And we call additional special meetings at other times in the year as required. So obviously you know why we're holding this one on Zoom this time. It's because of the COVID-19 pandemic and the assorted restrictions. Of course, New Jersey is getting a whole lot better with COVID-19 in terms of our hospitalization and death rates, but unfortunately travel for a lot of places and travel to Connecticut, especially where the board meeting is held, does have its assorted set of problems. So we decided to play it safe and hold a meeting on Zoom. Months leading up before the meeting, we had the committee meetings. So how it works in the ARRL is that the committees come together and we all do our, we divide up the work, we do different specializations, and then we go and research and debate different topics and develop ideas in the committees. And the committees now are typically, you have the standing committees. You have the executive committee, which basically is the board between the board meetings. You have the programs and services committee, which deals with emergency communications and which also deals with the contests and DX and member-oriented programs, and also awards to different people who are recognized by the ARRL. Then you have the Administration and Finance Committee. The Administration and Finance Committee deals with the administration of the ARRL headquarters organization. You have, for example, the publishing business, the VEC. You have the IT side of ARRL, which is why I'm on A&F. You have other operational aspects of ARRL as well. So these are, it's pretty much the committee that deals with the business side of the organization, and it's very important. Then you have other smaller committees that do their own independent work. You have, like, for example, the EMC committee, you have the Legal Defense and Assistance Committee, and you have other little committees that would do work and then provide reports. So they do all their work, they do all their debating, they do all their research, and then they submit reports to be considered at the board meeting for adoption. And generally, how it would work is that these would then get distributed among the board, and the board would then look at these reports and adopt them. So that happened. We try to pretty much do everything in advance as much as possible. And we did have all the reports for the directors, vice directors, officers, and others on the board to look at and to, you know, prepare their comments. Then came the day of the board meeting. Well, we did get a Zoom invite and to go on. Of course, the access to the Zoom room is controlled because, I mean, as of right now, there is no public viewing of the ARRL meetings. It's still a controversial topic. I mean, you know, I have my opinions, others have their opinions, but right now we don't have the public view in the meetings. So we got on Zoom, we did the roll call, we did a moment of silence, and then we proceeded to business. We had remarks from the IARU, we had remarks from the Radio Amateurs of Canada, because we're still closely knit with the Radio Amateurs of Canada. Canada is our neighbor, and they have a history with the ARRL as well. So once we did all of that, we got that out of the way, we considered the consent agenda, which basically has like a list of motions that, and reports that, a list of reports that you could consider without pretty much any controversy. So we did that. And then from the consent agenda, directors decided to pull out various reports for additional discussion. And it went pretty much that way for a good while. We pulled out a number of reports and discussed them. I mean, mainly the reason we would do that is because we want to inform the board a little more about reports and open them up for discussion, or somebody might have seen something they're a little concerned with, they want to talk more about, and that's fine. So we did that. Then next, we proceeded, well, of course we have breaks in between, because you need a lunch break, bio breaks, and stuff like that. In between, after that, we had the motions from the standing committees and the other committees. We considered those. And then we considered individual director motions, including motions to amend the bylaws. Now, I proposed one motion for the ARRL to accept electronic signatures, but apparently that is already allowed under Connecticut law. So what's going to happen is the CEO is going to instruct the ARRL staff to accept electronic signatures without requiring paper original copies. So that's good. I don't care about how it gets done. I didn't need an additional bylaw if it could be done that way, so I'm happy. I'm happy that it got done. Other things, we had some minor things about elections being talked about. We had some things about the structure of the standing committees and how we're doing emergency communications, in respect to the ARRL. We also had a long, what we call committee of the whole, which is a private board session to discuss personnel matters. And of course, personnel matters this time would obviously be the CEO choice. I can't say anything more than that other than we discussed the issue. And you can't really discuss personnel matters outside of the board. So I'll leave it at that. So anyway, that was the board meeting in a nutshell. How was the experience with Zoom? It was a bit interesting. I mean, I thought we would have problems with people not being muted and noise. I'm on a lot of web conferences and video conferences every day with regard to work. And sometimes even the most experienced video conference users have their friends and, well, their family in the background. I mean, making noise, or their dog or something, or their kid just decides to scream their head off. We really didn't have any of that. I thought everybody did well. I mean, right now we're veterans of video conferencing because of this virus that just wouldn't go away, And then, the real nice thing was that it seemed to go smoothly, except when my MacBook battery died and I didn't even know because my cable was loose. So we fixed that and then we went on. But it was unfortunate because I had my whole video set up, which you'll see, with my MacBook camera and then lighting and stuff, because I want to make sure that it looks good. So that's it in a nutshell. I mean, I'm going to have another more comprehensive video about the 2 questions I've asked on social media. 1, what is wrong with amateur radio? 2, what is good about amateur radio and amateur radio organizations? All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. This was a short video to describe my experience with an ARRL board meeting on Zoom. It's historic, the first time we've done it, and I really hope that we can continue to do things like this. One more thing, if you're not already a subscriber, you should subscribe. Please consider subscribing to the ARRL Hudson Division. Check out my personal channel, Ria Jaram. I post stuff there that is not official ARRL business. My own thoughts and other amateur radio related things. I'm going to start posting more stuff there and videos of me operating, just to kind of encourage people to get more into the hobby. All right, I am, please copy, Ria Jaram, N2 Romeo Juliet. See you around and keep on hamming. 73.